So it's been a while since I've done a PSH walk around video, and I've kind of got out of the habit, so I really need to get back into it. So we'll start off with this one. It's probably going to be one of the last ones this year, unless I do one of mine. This is the Triumph Rocket 3R, and it is a very silly motorcycle. It's a great motorcycle, but it's very silly because it's 2.5 litres, which I'm sure you knew that already, because in fact, I don't know how you can be involved in motorcycling and not know that a Rocket 3 is the biggest production engine motorbike on the planet. But it is a silly bike. I've done, probably because of COVID and all this bloody awful weather we had in October, I've probably done close on 300 miles on it in the couple of weeks I've had it, because it's howled down with rain most of it. But it's just bonkers. I rode it down to Tilbury the other week to Santa Pointy Hat, and God, it's just really good fun. So this is just a quick walk round. It's a bit of a beast. I mean, it's just thought I was falling through a manhole cover there. It's not as big as the old Rocket. Oh, we've got birdies leaving in the background. It's not as big as an old Rocket. It's not as heavy, but you sit on it rather than in it, like on the old one. It doesn't feel as heavy. It's 2.5 as opposed to 2.3. It's actually got quite low seats. Even Pam, my good lady, can actually get both feet on the ground, which is quite impressive for something that's, you know, same size engine as. I think my van's got a 2.5. My van's got a turbo on it, but this thing's probably more powerful. And my van's got a heater as well, which is also good. But anyway, I do like the number plate, FAC. Yeah, that's probably quite. I've said quite a lot of times, when you absolutely nail it in about a third, you can watch the speedometer almost tripping over itself as it tries to, its digital speedo, as it tries to accelerate and keep up with the engine. So, yeah, I think I've said FAC a few times as well. This is the other side with the single sider and the 3 enormous exhaust pipes. And it's a 240 rear end, I believe. Just see all my crap in the background because I'm just about to photograph it for the magazine. It's surprisingly easy to ride, given the sheer size of the thing. Because, I mean, when you see the video, I don't think you get an indication of quite how big it is. Because the video always makes things look smaller, which is what I keep saying about these porn videos of mine. Yeah, anyway. But, yeah, it's a sizable motorcycle, it really is. But then it would have been a bit odd if you'd built a 2.5 litre bike that isn't a sizable one. It's run off a proximity key as well, which is a bit like a Harley. And I will try and get it to film it, but whether you'll actually see it or not, I don't know. Because it has quite an amusing start-up sequence, if you like. Although you can't see rear pegs, it has got rear pegs. It took us a minute or so to find them, because they're tucked away. I'll see if I can get them to come out. They're really tucked away. So you pull that bit down, and then you flip the peg out like that. Which is quite funky, isn't it? Because when it's tucked away, it doesn't look like it's got them at all. Switch gear with cruise control and all the usual gubbins they put on motorcycles these days. And then that's the units now. Like I say, I'm not entirely sure whether you'll actually see it talk to you, which is what it does. So you flick the key, and then you flick it again. Did you see the Good Afternoon Rocketeer on it? And then you've got speedo, rev counter, all that sort of thing. The rev counter is quite disconcerting because I usually change up at about 5,000 on a normal rev counter, but of course on this one 5,000 is where 2,000 would be, so I've kept looking down and going, oh my god, I'm over revving it, thinking I'm doing about 8, but actually doing 3.5, 4. But yeah, so we'll fire it up because I say it's on proximity key. So, well, I would fire it up, but I can't because I haven't got enough hands. Because it's a Triumph, you have to hold the clutch in. I've forgotten all about that. What a dick. Yeah, so okay, I won't fire it up. Just turn it off again. There we go, and it says Good Afternoon Rocketeer again. Possibly. I hope you caught that. You might not have done. You'll just have to take my word for it. Fuel tank isn't massive. It's quite surprisingly not that big. It took about 15 quid when I filled it up from empty the other day, which is about 12 litres, I suppose. But I mean, it does 100 miles or so to a tank full. Pillion seat's alright. Took Pam on the back of it this morning to go and get some riding shots, and she said it's comfortable. The pegs are a little bit high. It may be, if you've got slightly longer legs. It may well be a little bit painful over any distance, but I wouldn't worry about it overly. You don't buy one of these things to take people on the back, do you? Unless it's Totty that you've picked up down the pub. Yeah, it's just a nice thing. I mean, it's a monstrous great bike, and you know, you park this anywhere and people go, ooh. I went to Stradishore Cafe the other week, and it was obviously an adventure bike meetup. And I turned up, I was on the only non-adventure bike there, and I got very, very disapproving stares from lots of people in Dayglow. Thankfully, no polite vests, but you know, lots of Dayglow. And then when I walked away from it, went into the cafe to get a bacon sarnie, they were all around it, like, I was going to say flies around, but I won't. Flies around a honeypot, if you like. Bears around a honeypot. Much politer. But yeah, so that's it. It goes back tomorrow, so I've only done really about 300 miles on the poor little thing. So it's had a really easy life, but then it is, I suppose, November, and I've kind of had to wait most of the summer to get my hands on one. But it is a cool bike, so if you get a chance to test ride one, do it, because I say you nail it and watch the you watch the speedo go, ooh, I can't quite keep up with this because it's really going fast. I have no idea what its top speed is, but it shoots up to a ton like a bloody rocket.